We all have a limited number of days here in this spirit scan, this simulation mechanism designed to find out who should not make it to the real world. So yesterday, Saturday, May 22nd, 2021, my grandmother passed away in the afternoon. Early afternoon, late morning. And she was 94 years old. She used to have a thing on her wall in her bathroom for years in Detroit that said, if I can't take it with me, then I'm not going. And my aunt couldn't stand that little plaque, and she was always bugging her to take it down, and she finally did. She never put it back up again, not even when she moved up north to Boyne City area, just outside of Boyne City. You have to pardon the audio bombing back there. That's my little Pomeranian, Aslan, hiding his little milk bones. He likes them little dry, tiny little milk bones. He don't like the gravy-covered ones. And he likes to bury them things and then go back and dig them up. He'll bury them in a spot that we go to all the time, in the dirt, and I'll give him a new one when we go back. He'll bury the new one. He'll bury the new one and then go dig up on the old ones and eat it. Worms, bugs, and all. Dirt, covered in leaves, grass, whatever. There you go. There's two more for you. Here you go. Right here. Yeah. So before my grandma died, that day was a normal day. I was over at my ex-wife's house helping her clean up. And I snagged one of the air conditioners from over there. I snagged a good one. Because, man, it's just been like the humidity combined with the heat has just been horrible. So, yeah, it felt really nice to just be able to defeat that. I let that thing run all night while I slept last night. And I'm learning, I guess I can't sleep in this town. I don't know. There's a lot of bullshit happening in my life right now. I'm sick. I can't hardly eat. I'm drinking on what will probably be my last Mike's Hard Lemonade. I think I'm going to stop drinking for a while because I'm sick. And I don't know. There comes a point sometimes when you decide you need a little bit of, like, sobriety. I was that way for more than 10 years. I didn't drink for 10 years, man. And I used to blaze my brothers for getting drunk. And I guess they made the parameters too hard for my brother to abide by. Out in the sticks with no license and shit. Expected him to do too much. I don't know. I don't know what happened. That he's in his legal predicament right now. Because, he did his time, and he was walking out to probation. So we only had a couple months left to go. I don't know why they would all of a sudden decide he's not, but, you don't get the truth from people because they cover up for their sins. They want to, lie about what they've done. And then, see, I was drinking, and then this thing I got where I bleed out of my ass, it caused a problem where I started having blackouts. I was losing time. I was still functioning, but I didn't, I wasn't there. I was like a zombie. And I literally went to the doctor over this shit, a couple different doctors, and they did tests, all kinds of tests. They couldn't figure out what's happening with me. What's causing the blood to gush from my ass like it does. And why, I kept having these blackouts. It was like I had to stop drinking while this was happening because I didn't want to be accused of being in a blackout drunk. See, alcohol doesn't really control me. I kind of make a childish decision to drink it since there's not a whole lot else I can do right now. And like I made the childish decision to drink it, I can make the childish decision to stop, So I guess I'm going to stop for a while because I'm going to need clarity. And it'll be one less thing that can be taken from me. You know, if Taint Town Podunk Police Department decides you're going to draw charges against me for something. They still got our phones. They're Q-Link wireless phones that come through the government. They're actually untouchable phones, I'm finding out. You're not even supposed to be allowed to take them from somebody because, you know, they were given to you by the government, you see? And this guy's keeping our phones so long, you know, for his little investigation that we're not going to be able to fulfill the requirements. You have to keep that phone on and use it at least once every month. If you don't, it just nullifies your contract and closes it down. Well, I'm hearing that you can't get another phone once you violate that contract. You can't get another phone. It's not really a contract so much as like it's a requirement to keep the phone. You know, it's a government issued phone. So there's requirements to keep it that we're not going to be able to live up to. And it's just amazing that, you know, my health could be negatively affected like this by having to worry about something else on top of the burden that is my wife, right? I mean, you know, what she turned out to be, you know, how I have to be looking over my shoulder all the time and shit, right? And watching the person is supposed to be like there with me, you know? It's just like heartbreaking, and it gets redundant after a while, you know? You're like, hey, man, you know, I don't care if you wander off to go fuck some other guy. Just make sure he's somebody that would take you away from me and don't come back, except for to get your stuff, you know? You see, that's all I care about. I don't want to be the guy that shit's being done to, you know? That's why I filed for a divorce was because, well, I didn't want to be the guy that, you know, I'm married to it while she's doing it for free to everybody else, that mentality, you know? Because, well, you know, there are some things that people are complicit in beyond, you know, what may have happened with 3 people, you know. And it's like, you know, the cops seem to have sided with Cody O'Rourke and his 2 rapist buddies, you know. And I still haven't done that song that, Vinny, 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 come and put it in me. That's what Cody's booties say. His rapist buddies' booties say, you know. It's like, well, for real. You never know. It could happen soon. Like, if I was to go to jail over this shit, who knows how long I might have to sit there. Maybe long enough for some motherfuckers to make a little drive up from the city, you know, find a little white boy, get the information out of him by any means necessary of who the other 2 white boys are and where to find them, and take them for a nice little ride back to the city. Yeah, make some videos with them. You see what I'm saying? Treat them like they're 9-year-old child-minded and run some kitchen utensils up in their buttholes and shit like that. You know, just do to them what they did to others, you know. Don't do it to anybody else what you don't want to yourself, done to yourself. That includes a kitty. Because, well, you're going to get time looped as your victims, you see? So it's like they're going to get time looped as this girl, you know. And it's weird because I'm living like this, man, where it's like I'm for real. I'm like in the prison yard and shit going into this town, man, with my wife. I see a group of motherfuckers walking, you know. 2 of them seem like the motherfuckers I seen with Cody numerous times at this apartment complex. And one of them kind of, you know, smirks at me, walks by me all tough and shit. Not realizing, hey, you know, I'm prepared to take at least one of you motherfuckers down and go to prison for it if I had to. They had to make the statement about the police in this town. Hey, you know what they did? They went and warned these guys that they're being investigated so that they'd hide the evidence. They never did a CSI investigation on 2 different crime scenes in the same building. Nothing, man. But they could call the police, you know, backup state police to come back them up to, you know, make my wife look like a criminal in front of the neighbors, just, you know, gang swoop her ass and shit, scream and yell at her with no COVID mask on, and fucking take my phone. Well, now that you diddled me, I don't want the phone back. I'm sure you went through it by now and found out, hey, wow, this guy ain't guilty of shit. He don't do shit. Motherfucker lives like a monk. You see? You can't find any goddamn search history in my phone fucking that I've searched for anything illicit, because I don't do that kind of shit. I've been keeping my nose clean. I wanted to be the brother that doesn't embarrass my sister for a change. I made that decision, what, like 12 years ago? And Ryland police have made it hard, man. They gang stalked me with this gang of little motherfucking white devils and shit, you know? So, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. I'm in the prison yard, you know. in this town, it's like there's thugs everywhere. The police won't lock them up. They won't even try. It's like they'll botch the investigation because, you know, their families are rich or some shit, you know? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, or they know somebody in the city. They know the prosecutor or the prosecutor's wife or some dumb shit. You see, you know, they know somebody. And that's how it was with Ronnie Everson, the cat killer, the skunk killer, the wildlife killer. Got him on film killing wildlife and vandalizing my home, pouring accelerant all over the side of it. I don't know if he intended to light it up or not. But, you know, the dude, then he threatened me. I came out there with a camera filming him. It's like, hey, you're poisoning cats and you're fucking goddamn going to light my house up? What the fuck is that shit you're pouring all over the house? And he never came and cleaned it up. He didn't have no sense of shame. I filmed that shit every day, just drying and staining the garage. I wasn't going to clean it off. He's a big enough man to do the shit. He's a big enough man to pull that water hose out he's got over on his house and fucking spray my shit off, right? Punk. He ended up selling his shit. But, you know, he can come back here to this town, just wander around like he's not a criminal. He's a criminal, man. It's like he perpetuated fucking goddamn hate crimes against fucking animals and shit. He poisoned animals. You're not allowed to poison animals. He murdered skunks and shit. It's like you're allowed to take and get a non-lethal trap, a humane trap, and trap them and take them and turn them loose in the woods. You're not allowed to kill them and shit. And you ain't allowed to put poison down all over the fucking ground, the poisoned ground floor where you can't drink the water in the town no more. That's what Ronnie did. He poisoned the fucking town. That's why I started calling it Tank Town. Because while I couldn't get him arrested with video footage of what he was doing, I have had video footage compiled. I posted this shit online. You know what the response of you know, the white devils that knew him was? To you know, just hit my comment section with all kinds of hate shit against me, and saying how he's in the right. Really? So he was in the right to poison me in my own home when he put all the mothballs down right up underneath my ventilation, and that shit fucking contaminated my house for 3 fucking years. And every year when spring came, fucking I got sick again. In the wintertime, something about the cold neutralized the effects of the mothballs. But in the summertime, when the weather broke, you know, springtime came and it ain't freezing no more, the smell of that mothballs came just wafting through the house all over again. My house smelled like mothballs, man, for real. Like my grandma's house did when I was a little kid. And my grandma had a mothball closet where she had everything she thought she wanted to save in there with mothballs. But the thing is then the shit's useless. You can't wear it. It smells like mothballs. So yeah, I'm here in this little apartment complex. I wasn't able to make it over to hang out with my brother yesterday after my grandma died, and they kind of bummed me out. I'm gonna have a ride to the funeral if my ex-wife goes. So you know, there's that. I'll be able to make the funeral. Of course, my sister would probably come pick me up. I'm sure she's going to rent a car if she flies up from Florida, but she might just drive up. But the funeral's going to happen quick. I almost should just blast out of this town until the funeral's done, in case, you know, the PDP, you know, Podunk Police, decide they're going to criminalize me, you know, before it could happen. See, I have to worry about being criminalized, and rapists can run around loose in this town. That's why, you know, it's just what it is to me, man. You know, it's like my wife is so afraid something will happen that will separate her from me, you know, and she'll be stuck in this town. You see what I'm saying? Having to deal with these motherfuckers, you know, she might run into one of them. She already has to worry about it if she moves as far away as Lewiston. For all we know, one of the dudes lives there. He fucking may see him in the store or some shit, you see? But okay, these are not fucking desires of somebody that thinks she's going to hold on to a mentally challenged dude in a motel room in Gaylord who doesn't even have a driver's license, you see? If she had aspirations to stay with this motherfucker, she'd be wanting to stay in Grayling even though she's at risk. And even though now she's got this reputation. Because, well, you know, they've already portrayed it how they want to portray it. And there's 3 against 1, you see. So, you know, almost in spirit of leaguing with the underdog, you know, You want to think that they automatically think they're guilty, but I didn't. I wanted this shit investigated. I wanted the police to do a good job and find out, you know, if there was any evidence, because if there was, then hey, okay, then, you know, her story matches up. Because, well, I'm going to tell you something. The scenario of how, like, the first time played out, it could have played out any number of ways. I could have went with her to check the mail. I could have told her, wait and check the mail later. Anything could have happened. You see what I'm saying? Where that event wouldn't have happened. But I didn't say anything to intervene because I didn't know there was something to intervene against. I didn't know this was, you know, thugland and shit. I mean, it's that bad that, you know, Stratford Group would hire somebody who was on probation. Well, people on probation are hanging with thugs, yo. You want thugs hanging out in an old people apartment complex where you have developmentally disabled people and shit too? You know, motherfucker's got a key to every apartment. He can go in any apartment while they're gone. You see, it's like, damn, for real? You're going to endanger your tenants like that. And that's why, you know, I put a tag-on lawsuit against Stratford for reckless endangerment, alienation of affection, because, well, that's a real thing. You can sue somebody for that. You may not be able to get them charged and fined. You know, they wouldn't get incarcerated, but they could get fined. If they just wanted to, you know, start busting people for adultery in this fucking state, they would make billions, maybe trillions of dollars a year. You see? The government in every state, I mean, we could just totally defeat the deficit with charges, fines for committing adultery. You see? Fines for attempting to commit adultery. You see? Yeah, so it's like, then that would add to the civil suits of motherfuckers who sue for alienation of affection. It's where, you know, you alienate the affection that somebody felt for you. It's no longer being directed at you. It's being directed at them now. You see? They came in and they tainted what you had. Motherfuckers like that usually have to you know, go a long way to do it. Unless, like, the bitch is ugly or retarded or something, then they don't have to do a whole lot. They can get the bitch to participate easy. But, like, if, you know, I've had my ex-wife, you know, comment many a times about this, you know, instance where they took her in the office and, you know, well, she was all bruised up. Like, motherfuckers were grabbing her legs and ripping them open, you know? So who knows? I don't know if she's into that rough play where, you know, bruise me up or not. I'm not going to bruise nobody up, not intentionally, because, well, then they can fucking say some dumb shit later if they get pissed off at you. Look at the bruises he put on me, you see? So I'm smarter than that. But my ex-wife has giggled many a times about how, man, and she had keys to check the box in her hand, too. Now, if that was me and they came off of me, they would have had some gouged out eyeballs. I would have had some of their skin from their face under my nails. I would have been fucking calling the police immediately and 911, the ambulance, because they would have been laid out in the fucking foyer bleeding out. You see? Yeah, she would have fucked them up. She knows not only self-defense, but she knows assault shit. She can assault a motherfucker and hurt him, fuck him up. So anyway, this one guy, I don't know if he's a manager or what, he left here earlier. We were sitting here. Waiting for Lisa to drop the dog off. He just pulled in. We were sitting here again. So I don't know if he thinks we spent the day out here or what, you know. I mean, it's just one of them weird coincidences and timing. You know, I wanted to come out and do this video now. I'm drinking my last beer now, shit like that. It's an era where, you know, because my grandma just died and there's going to be people getting together, you know. That's why I kind of like, I trained myself, I won't drink that rot gut shit vodka. You know, if it's not a good flavored vodka, like from Burnett's or somebody, American made, I don't really want it. I don't really want to drink it. And I don't know, I was doing really good before when I wasn't drinking. And my life seemed brighter and more fulfilled. So, you know, I have to do things to brighten my own life up now because there's other details and elements that are darkening it.
Thank you, honey.
Guitar rolled back around. Yeah, hit 20 minutes, stopped, and started again. So yeah, I did a video for you guys earlier. It's about an hour long, but I don't know if I'm going to upload it. It was a lot of screaming and bitching. Just, you know, because, well, the shit that's happening to me right now, man, you know? I didn't ask for none of this, and I didn't provoke any of it. I didn't ask motherfuckers to go become bullies just because they got a badge and shit and decide they're going to push people around. You know, yeah, I see what you're doing to my wife. You're pushing her around now. Anybody else, if they don't want to go to the fucking hospital, they just don't go. Anybody else that ain't went to the police station to file a fucking police report about the incident yet probably fucking ain't going to follow through. You see? She probably wasn't even going to follow it through. But I gave it to the cop so that, like, if he had Cody's phone, which he didn't, you know, or if he was inclined to go get it, he could check his GPS and see if it could have been true. You see? Would have been nice to know. But no, nothing to see here. Yeah, nothing but rapes and dope dealing, animal cruelty, child abuse, child neglect, exploitation of fucking goddamn vulnerable people, you know, because, well, there's vulnerable children in this town, too. I was on the bus with my wife and my dog, and a bunch of kids got on the bus, and it seemed like all but two of them had some kind of mental disability. And there was like a spiritual sadness, like their spirits were crying out from within their, you know, their broken physicality, you see? And I felt their sadness, their inner sadness that little children shouldn't feel yet, you see? I even went so far as to stop and let one of the little kids pet my dog on the way out, because it really bothered me to feel that, you know? These are things you don't feel in the next timeline because, well, there's nobody making people sick for profit, you know? There's no dope and alcohol abuse and all that shit. Oh, it sounds like hell to me, really? It's heaven to those who matter. Yeah, you can be productive and you can prosper and succeed. Nobody's stealing your shit. Nobody's fucking your wife. Nobody's raping your wife. You can turn your back on your wife and fucking actually let her have a life of her own while you're out fucking doing shit. You see, and then you can come back together at night. You know nothing happened. You don't have that in this timeline. In this timeline, you have blurred reality. Everything's blurred and, you know, contorted and twisted. You know, it's like everybody's fucking lying to get them a little bit of fucking action on the side. It's like, wow, it never occurs to you to just don't do that shit? Hey, you know, there's a box of dildos over there. You got a hot Italian stallion. You really have no reason for your mind to entertain the thoughts that they do. You see what I'm saying? For real. And, you know, you get motherfuckers that, you know, the ass wall. Maybe this person doesn't know who you are, so they just see the shell of you, you know? See what I'm saying? They see the body you're in. They don't really see you. So, you know, you went further with them than they did with you because you tried to see their inner person, you see? And then, I don't know, you end up kind of fucked in a lot of ways. I mean, you know, I'm fucked in a lot of ways. You know, I'm sitting around in this little town with a bullseye on my fucking forehead, you know, because they want to try and make a criminal out of me just because I'm from Detroit, and I dared to stand up against the local retarded cat killer. Well, because Ronnie's kind of fucked up. You'd think he's retarded. It's just as bad karma because he got in so many fucking weird accidents that fucked with his shit. And I guess one of the accidents was big, and it fucked his head up. And he had to get fake teeth and everything. So, yeah, you got this motherfucker who's like the small town fucking mascot and shit. Walks around everywhere with a goddamn cane. He has a crooked cane he named after me that he's always walking with. Yeah, he's got a cane he calls Vini. And he's always walking. I think he performs witchcraft with these fucking sticks. I think that's why he has to find certain sticks. And the stick that he used to make the fucking cane for my ex-wife that she has in her fucking house, seems like it has a goddamn curse on it too. Like it's got negative energy. That stick's always getting in the way. You're always knocking it down. It's always falling over on your feet because, you know, you take your shoes out to vacuum, right? It's got a big old fucking hacksaw handle on it, so when it falls, man, it's like it fucking goddamn leaves a bruise on your foot and fucking goddamn causes you to do the dance for a minute. It's like, ow, 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 this fucking cursed fucking cane. This mean old motherfucker attacking me fucking goddamn from beyond the goddamn city and shit. He just had to give somebody a goddamn cane. And it's always leaning in a precarious way where it's ready to fall over if you fucking don't pay close attention to it when you grab it. So we got people going in and out, people hanging out. They're all comfortable in their existence. I'm not comfortable in mine anymore. I'm under police scrutiny for daring to send a text message to my wife. I mean, for real, this shit is raping my mind and my soul, you know? People can't understand that. It's like, it's what's causing the blood pressure spikes and you know, just for it to be stabilized at a high level, an ungodly high level, 234 over 102, 212 over 100, 214 over 100. That's what it stuck at the other day because I kept checking it and it kept coming up. Till I finally rode the stepper and I smoked a couple bowls of weed and ate an extra pill. See, I'm not supposed to eat any bigger than 20 milligrams a day of those pills. They're enzymic. I could fill myself with, like, my veins with, like, enzymes, you see? They might eat away the white blood cells or some shit, some weird shit. I was warned not to fucking, you know, if I occasionally have to take more than one, do it, but don't abuse them, because they're enzymic. So it's not like taking a little bit of extra chemical. You're putting living things into your bloodstream. They're living, swimming in my bloodstream, these little enzymes. And they probably have nanobots in these pills that they've made us have to take with, you know, the shit that they've done to us via other nanobots that they put in food and beverages and drinks and even in the water. So then we go and try to get cured of what was caused by those nanobots. And those nanobots got activated by the mainstream. You see, they target people. They're targeting certain people with certain things. So, like, if they watch sports, the sub-frequencies on the sports are going to trigger the nanobots to give them one illness. While if they watch religious stuff, the sub-frequencies on that's going to cause a different illness, you see? People who watch stupid weekly sitcoms or whatever they're called, it's like, you know, they get hit with something else. But you notice everybody's getting hit with something, and everybody's buying pills. They're laying down, you know, their alms. You know, they're laying down they're paying into giving the beast what it wants, and it wants these pharmaceutical giants, these tech giants, you know, these people to be gods, even though they are not. They need more than the average person. They kind of makes them lesser than us if you think about it. Because while we could survive in their world all day long, they couldn't survive as us very long at all. All right. I just wanted to talk to you all about some shit that's happening. My grandma just died, and shit's kind of fucked up. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I'm seeing the cops drive by here a lot. The local police suddenly, almost like they think they have something or something. I don't know. I don't really care what they think they have because they haven't done anything for them to have anything. You see what I'm saying? They have nothing. I've gotten some prank texts from some people that would imply something's happening that's not happening. But, you know, what totally gives it away as a prank is this, you know, it includes Lisa, my ex-wife, and Lisa was never included in anything that, you know, I might have done that, you know, you could try and twist it if you want and make it illegal if you wanted to, you know. But I would have had to actually do it and not just experiment with it for there to be a charge. And there never was an actual time when anything ever happened. So there you go. But yeah, see, I didn't use texting for a long time, I used just a regular flip phone, cell phone. That's why there's really no contacts in that Obama phone. There's no association to my past life, really. Some erased texts from, you know, prank texters. And, you know, see, because, well, when I was with Lisa, I was very protective of her career and her professional life. So I tried to never, ever do anything that would, like, make her look bad in the town. And I felt bad when I did that fundraiser video for the homeless animals in drag, because it got such a fucking horrible reaction from the small town freaks. And they literally started a gang stalking campaign that did include the police. They wasted man-hours sitting down on their corner, fucking hid behind the bushes, looking down into my front door, because I was sitting right there. I'm you know, in the living room with the front door open on my laptop. You see, I was sitting right there where I could see out the door, I could see the corner, and they would pull up where they could see me. They'd just sit there for hours, man, wasting man-hours and shit. It's like, wow, the town's not being patrolled by these guys. I am, though. I'm being patrolled. And then nothing was ever said about the people walking past my house and would walk up to it and, you know, hold the fucking hand over their eyes so they could see in, you know, fucking look all in my house, trespass all up on my property and shit. Nothing was ever said to any of them people. Nothing was said to them about fucking, hey, man, you're calling us about a dude masturbating in his own house? Well, you know, miss, how do you know that that's what he's doing? Are you using your dad's infrared army gear or some shit? I mean, what's happening? You know, the thermal imaging shit? What are you doing? How do you know that's what he's doing? Are you up on his windows, peeping in his windows? Are you, like, snitching on yourself here? How you know this guy's masturbating? That's what I would have asked her if I was somebody taking the call. I sure wouldn't have been guilty of dispatching. Yeah, she said he's masturbating again. For real, this call came over the radio. I wish I would have been recording my life then, because I would have got that on tape. And then later on, picked the girl up walking home. There's a girl walking on the side of the road. We're going to pick her up. Or we're going to stop and check her out. That was the first call. Oh, I'm not going to say her name. But yeah, she's a musician in this town of a band I really would have liked to have been part of. And I really thought it would have been a good gimmick for me to hook up with them back when I could play good. I can't play good now. I can't do shit now. I can't even focus on anything. My mind is totally fried with my fucked up, rancid existence, you know? Where I'm almost going to have to go into hiding or some shit. I should drop a fucking CD, yo, since, you know, I may be able to use that shit, right? Because, well, wait till this story gets out. They let the rapists go. They went and warned the rapists. This is what the police did. They warned them. We're investigating you. They didn't take no warrant for no phones from these punks. But then later, when dude was sick and his car needed to go home, he go trip out and be like, you know, they got police swooping on his wife, scaring the fuck out of her out in front of her neighbors and shit. And check this out, yo, they took their phones without no warrants. They're Obama phones. They're government-protected phones. You steal an Obama phone from somebody and get caught stealing that shit. It ain't like stealing a store-bought phone. You stole something the government bought. I'm sure that there's some kind of higher angle you can get hit with. Like if you're using a computer to commit crimes and shit. And I can't get justice. I had my identity stolen last February of 2020. And in May of 2020, they used my identity to file for unemployment. And I can't get into their account that has my Social Security number on it. And I can't use my Social Security number on my account on the motherfucking shit. You see? So they've got my Social Security number locked down where they're using it. And, well, the system's sloppy, so they sent another letter to my ex-wife's house that says that I've been approved for another 57 weeks at $160 a week. That's $320 every 2 weeks for those of you who don't know that you get it bi-weekly. So, yeah, they're getting $320 checks every 2 weeks in my name, and I've reported this shit. This time I went the long route reporting it on their little website. And it's like, I can't get these motherfuckers to stop collecting money in my name. What if this shit eventually affects my fucking SSI? What if that's what already affected it? You see? Most of my benefits come through my wife now. The lion's share of what we get to pay bills with, all the food stamps go to her now. It's like my food stamp card keeps coming up zero after they send me that letter that, well, we're just going to assess it and put it on your wife's account. Okay. That's pretty fucked up, because what if me and my wife split up? How am I supposed to survive? I don't have no money. She got it all. I'm supposed to keep interacting with her to get little piddles of money to add on to my little piddle of money I got left coming from you guys? I'm supposed to bug her to use her EBT card? Really? Shit. Because, well, sometimes people do split up, And I'd sure be fucked. I'd be the one fucked. I have help, though. There's people that have already committed to help me that have said, well, shit breaks off and you guys get divorced. I know you're going to be in a fucked financial situation, but we will help you. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the financial side. Just worry about, what are you going to do? Should you be with the person? Should you not? Should you get a divorce? What do you feel led to do by God? Bibbidi blah, 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 Well, here's the thing. You go putting God in on the equation, well, then you have to slow your decision down and wait for the Lord. Well, fuck, man. You're waiting for the Lord. Some other shit may happen while you're waiting, You might suddenly become the target of a cop who wants to create a criminal because he won't bust the real criminals. Violent criminals, mind you. I want you who are smart enough to do it to put yourself in my position for a minute and realize how enraged I must be and have been for months. And how the rage grows with every second of incompetence from the police to fucking goddamn, just get to the bottom of it. You see what I'm saying? Now, they won't get to the bottom of it now that the phone situation didn't happen. They used 3 warrants to take Cody's phone and our 2 phones. And they didn't have a warrant when they took the phone. He just took it. Well, he wasn't allowed to just take it. And that's why he had backup there, because, well, he knows that I know the law and I know my rights, you see? So he didn't think I would willingly relinquish my phone. But I saw the cops and I knew what he was doing. He's trying to create a violent situation so that they can arrest me right there. Then he has my wife right where he wants her. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, so I just bit it down and gave him the phone, even though he didn't have the right to take it. I outsmarted his ass. He didn't get the violent altercation he hoped to get. See, I've watched cops too. And I come from the ghetto, so I know how motherfuckers are. And I watched this town, cops shoot down good people. William Reddy? Yes, rest in peace. Amber knew him. And she knows that he wasn't somebody you should just walk in and kill because you want to take his baby and give it to some drunk bitch so she can collect the fucking welfare on his ass. Stupid. Damn. See, that's how dumb they are in this fucking town. They endanger everything that should be protected while they fucking goddamn try to take down those of us who are protecting them and lock us away or fucking chase us away, separate us somehow so that they can continue to fucking do what they do. You see? And others can get to them. I for real think the fucking goddamn, there's some motherfuckers that, hide behind shit like a beard and they're really part of it. They're not really enforcement of anything. You see what I'm saying? I sincerely believe that they're, they're pseudo. They're not real. They're fake as fuck, and that's why they gotta do fake ass shit. Like try to fuck with some old motherfucker like me who, a long time ago I decided to stop fucking around. I paid my debts, I did my dues, and fucking I even paid karmic dues by trying to fucking help the homeless kitties in this town. That motherfuckers just wanted to kill them. You see? I was actually catching them, fucking getting them fucking fixed and getting them adopted out until the interference from them, the good Christian man next door, the small town mascot. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let you get back. Have a good one. I may not do another video for a long time. You just never know.